Hey folks, it is Saturday the 2nd of November today. It's almost a week actually since I filmed the last video when I travelled here. Travelling because of the time difference takes like 3 days. So I've only actually been on the ship since Wednesday. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. This is day 4. I am settled back into my cabin. I'm somewhat settled back into ship life. And since today is our first show back, I thought I'd show you what a day on board looks like. So already this morning I got up nice and early and went up to the pantry for some breakfast. My rank on board is technically a resident guest entertainer, so we're only allowed to eat in the guest restaurants. We're not allowed to eat with the rest of the crew, which has its pros and cons, but I'll maybe get into that in a future video. I then sat in the crew bar with a coffee and did a little bit of work on my laptop. Other than these videos, one of the things that I'm doing to keep myself busy is myself and Luke, who is both one of my castmates here on the Purple Rabbit on the cruise ship, and also one of my castmates in our own show, Insane Magic, that I do with myself, Luke Osland and Elliot Bibby. But yeah, sorry, one of the other projects that we've been doing on the ship, or decided to do rather, on our 3 months on board, is to start a podcast. Now, it's a little bit silly. We film it here in my cabin, and we filmed and edited our first episode yesterday, so we're trying to get all the accounts set up for that. And actually, for a first attempt, it's pretty good. If you want to give that a watch or a listen, you can find it. It's called Shipmates the Pod. I'll link everything down below in the description. But other than that, my plans for the rest of the day are to go up and grab some lunch, squeeze in a really quick workout just here in my cabin, head backstage in our theatre called the Black Circus to make sure all my props are all set for later on, relax a little bit so I can get ready for the show, and then of course perform the show tonight for the first time in about 3.5 months. So all things considered, a pretty packed day here on the ship, so I better get on with it. I just had a lovely lunch up at the pantry, and now I'm gonna head backstage to the Black Circus. It's still the afternoon, but I have quite a lot of stuff to do. I also thought it was probably worth doing a little sort of lighting tour of my cabin, because in that sort of opening little bit, you're probably wondering why it's so dark in here. The kind of main lights in cruise ship cabins are really, really bright and stark. They're like these fluorescent lights. Watch, and I'll switch it on here. You can see this is what my cabin looks like with the main light on. It's not very nice. It's pretty bright. It's pretty fluorescent. It's nice and warm, I guess, but it's just very bright. So I run by the rule: never ever use the main light. So this gets turned off. And then this is my vibe here. So over here I have this sort of galaxy projector. This was super, super cheap. I either have this on the back wall here, or sometimes what I do is I angle it up onto the ceiling, especially when I'm in bed and I sleep. And this is it here. I've gone for sort of a space theme, so that's amazing. I have this sunset lamp here as well. Sunset lamp usually just kind of comes along here. I made myself this space porthole. This was inspired by one of my castmates, Gabby. They made a porthole for their bedroom, because their cabin, because we don't have windows on the ship. There's no windows anywhere else in our cabin. And then these curtains are actually for the bunk bed above, but if you put them over the porthole, sort of adds to the realism of it a little bit, I guess. And then I have these fairy lights, which are sort of on the roof, taped up there like stars. I have the lamp that was given to me with the cabin, like this. And then last but not least, you'll see I have these hanging glow-in-the-dark moons and stars on the roof as well. All in all, giving the cabin a nice kind of spacey vibe. So pretty much all of that I actually did on my last contract, the 6 months I was here previous. But Sam, who was in this cabin in the 3 months since I left, just left everything up because it was quite nice. And it was nice to come back to as well. I didn't do all this in like 4 days. That would be ridiculous. Oh, and the other thing I forgot to point out is this LED strip that goes along the back of the wall there. I put that in as well. I think what it really comes down to is that, you know, you do actually spend quite a lot of time on in your own cabin on the ship. And because there's no windows, because it can be quite lonely and isolating, you want to make it slightly comfortable for yourself. So, you know, all of this stuff probably cost me, I got it at Kmart for maybe like 150 Australian dollars. Probably a little bit less actually, but for a combined total of 9 months of extra comfort, it is well worth it. I'll do like a full cabin tour in a future video, so keep an eye out for that. But yeah, that's my little kind of lighting setup here in the cabin. I've been sort of practicing and rehearsing my brand new act here in my cabin, so I'm going to pack all of my props up, take them backstage, make sure I've got everything I need for the show tonight, run and rehearse a couple little moves. I just want to make muscle memory rather than at the moment I'm having to think about them, and then just do a final check of all my props, make sure everything's nice and tight and new and clean and fresh, because I want to start off how I mean to go on. Shouldn't take too long, but good to cross the I's and dot the T's. Wait, what? No. Dot the I's and cross the T's, I think is the correct phrase. So I just got to the backstage here at the Black Circus, and the backstage door is locked from the inside, which is super annoying because there's an event going on, a game show going on inside the actual theatre. So I'm just going to chill out on the deck, get a little bit of fresh air and a little bit of sun while I have the opportunity to, and we'll try again in 20 minutes or so, see what happens. All set backstage, completely finished all my prep for the show tonight. I've obviously got to do all my presets later when it's showtime, but I'm gonna get changed, do a really quick sort of workout in the cabin here, then I'll get showered, changed, ready for the evening, and then head to the theatre to do the show. So one of the kind of funny things about working out on a ship as well is that it rocks and rolls as you move along. So doing press-ups or something like that, every second press-up is really easy because the boat's pushing you up, and every second one is twice as hard because it's pushing against you. So it's actually really difficult to work out. You really need to injure yourself as well. One of the reasons I'm just doing a quick one in my cabin today is because it's actually too rocky today to safely go to the gym, I think. The gym's always open, but especially when I have a show in a couple of hours, I don't want to hurt myself. So just sort of a quick one to keep me moving, keep me active in the cabin. But yeah, something that you'd probably never experience if you've never worked on a ship before. Alright, so I've been for lunch, I've relaxed a little bit, I did a little workout. I'm all showered and dressed into my sort of smart evening wear. When we're in passenger areas in the evening, we have to be sort of smart casual at all times with our name badges on as well. So I've got to go through a passenger area to get to the theatre. We get to the theatre for us in about 15 minutes, and then the show is in about 3 hours time. So lots to do between now and then. Let's go. So I'm here in the Black Circus Theatre, which is the theatre we do our show in every couple of nights. Everyone's kind of over there getting set up, warmed up, things like that. And yeah, we have a couple hours till the show, which is great. The bar getting set up behind me, Luke's getting set up for his new act, and the circus acts are warming up. It's a sold out show tonight, which is amazing. Let's go get ready. You don't even want to know what this is for. Itself. I'm going to do that by isolating my watch. Alright, back in my cabin, I'm in my pajamas ready for bed. We finished our show day. I finished the show. It was really good actually. We had a bit of a strange audience. They were like really rowdy but loud and kind of heckled a lot, but you know, they were still good fun. So after the show, we just pack everything up, reset everything for the next one. Then because our kind of prep time runs from 5 o'clock and our show doesn't finish till about 10 o'clock, we actually miss all our food options for the night. So the galley prepares us dinner special. We sit and eat it as a team. We do notes on the show. And then tonight was the last night on the ship for a couple of people I know, so I went to Crew Bar for a couple of drinks and then back here straight to bed. Today's been quite a long day, so I'm gonna hit the hay. But thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, I'm gonna be doing one of these every couple of days, hopefully. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of thing, and I'll see you next time.